All right, everybody, welcome to this week's segment of the U. We're talking about some NFL football. First week after the Super Bowl, get into the free agency, get into the off season. This is the best time for football. Not really. I love when they're playing, but so we go straight into free agency news. Aaron Rodgers still high as balls. Hasn't made a decision yet. Packers are getting pissed at him. He's in limbo. They don't know if he's going to retire, if he's going to, he already requested a trade basically. So they're kind of in a limbo right there. And a lot of teams are getting skeptical. They don't know if they want to sign Rodgers. They don't know his intentions. So let's start off with Rodgers. What are you thinking about the situation?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know where he's going to go. I think he's got some good options in front of him.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, he's got to make a decision soon, right?
Yeah, of course he has to. Bull, anything you want to say about this?
Like Bert said, who knows, man? Aaron Rodgers is just, the oddball, always causing commotion, I guess. I mean, everyone's talking about him. I don't know. You don't know.
No, I don't think he even knows, to be honest. So
you
that's
never,
why
you never know with
That's
Rodgers.
why he went on a retreat for some reason.
I mean, obviously retirement is also in the picture. I mean, if he was to retire, he would go down as one of the greats. So, I mean, if he was to retire, congrats on your career. But I still see him playing. I don't know for who, but
he has years left in him. I think he has a year or two as an elite quarterback still left in him.
But that's what I was going to say. He's still playing at that elite level. Like
back-to-back MVPs.
This was his first losing season in how long?
Yeah, and after they traded Devontae.
Exactly.
And, so I totally get that. What are your thoughts on the whole Aaron Rodgers situation?
Dude, I have no idea. I don't think he should retire. I think he should definitely still play. I just don't know. He's so whack.
I think a big thing with Rodgers right now is nobody knows how much he really cares about football anymore. It really seems like he likes being a public figure, but for all the reasons not involving football.
Yeah.
There was a clip of him that came out like a few months ago, and it was like he was saying, on the Pat McAfee show.
He loves going on the Pat
McAfee show. That's
show.
The only media he likes to talk to. He goes, I don't believe in must-win games. The only must-win situation was World War II.
Oh my god!
I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever heard, and I think it just perfectly sums up like why teams I don't think are gonna trade for him. And I think it'd have to be a team like the Niners, a team like the Raiders that are in desperate need, win now mode. So,
the only thing I just want to add about Rodgers is I feel like he's just like such a talent who has just not lived up to what he wanted to live up to. That he's kind of just numbed himself, so he just is like doesn't really care anymore, even though he does, but he's just numbed himself to that level. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, he's an elite quarterback. There's really maybe only I would say 7 to 8 elite quarterbacks in this league right now, and he's one of them. He is gonna win you games, so who knows? What team is willing to risk it all for him? I think that's what the big question is.
I think the 49ers would be very interesting. It's not going to happen. But that would be crazy.
I didn't think McCaffrey was going to go there, and then he ended up there.
Yeah,
so.
Good point.
That would be sick. I'd love to see him on the 49ers. Too bad they have 3 starting quarterbacks already.
Yep.
Yeah, they got to move something first if they're going to do that.
They got to get rid of quarterbacks. I don't need no more.
All right.
Or maybe they do because they don't have one in the playoffs. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was... Don't get Kyle going on that.
Sign him as a 4th string?
Yes.
yeah, right.
All right, going on to the next point, get into the Derek Carr sweepstakes. I don't know if you want to call it that. It'd be like winning like a $5 coupon. So,
call it a giveaway.
Yeah, giveaway. I guess not a sweepstakes. It really has come down to it's Jets or Saints for him. It's nobody else. He met with Jets officials for dinner in New Jersey the other day. He's seen photographed. Seems like the Jets, from what I'm hearing, obviously I'm a Jets fan. I'm on the Jets fan pages. It seems like Jets front office is way more in on Carr, getting him for maybe a 4 or 5 years than a Rodgers for 1 or 2 years in that type of way. And it fits their timeline, like we talked about last week, a lot better with Carr. And it really seems like David Carr, his brother, on, I want to say Fox, came out today and said him and Robert Saleh absolutely hit it off at dinner. And he loves the way that the organization's going. He loves how the coaches think. So we might be reporting that Derek Carr's going to the Jets in this week, maybe even next week. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Let's start with Kyle.
I've said I think he's going
Yeah.
to the Jets for so long. His timeline matches with the Jets perfectly, and it's just a good fit. Like, Jets are lost cause. Who is looking good. Derek Carr has just gotten screwed his whole career, so like he should have been a Jet his whole career. You know, like, that's like he's just like like Derek Carr is a Jet to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
As the resident Jets fan here, I just want to say that I would 100% rather Carr for the fact we don't have to trade any pieces. We can keep the exact same team, and we have cap, but I don't think Carr cares about the money. He just got paid $40 million. So if he could sign a little team-friendly deal, we could really be a contender in a few years.
which I think that's all Carr wants. He has the money. He's been a quarterback for years. I think he just wants to actually just be respected and like win. So
And-
I see that.
And I think that is the funniest thing because I think he's the complete opposite from Rodgers. I think
Yeah.
Rodgers is all about the media, all about his stats,
100%.
all about his accolades. Derek Carr doesn't give a crap. He wants to
Yeah.
win a Super Bowl. He wants to be on a winning team.
I feel like he just wants to be respected. Like he just wants to be on like a decent team who at least has a chance because he's never gotten that.
Yeah. I mean, he had that 1 year, but then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, the Raiders haven't found it. Paulie, what do you want to say about this situation?
I mean, I think the Jets are the perfect fit here. It makes the most sense. I mean, obviously Saints can make a push, but I mean, who even knows what's going on with the Saints?
Yeah.
Jets got a lot of promise. They got, obviously young talent with Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner,
Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. I mean, makes the most sense. I think Salah could really shape up Derek Carr a lot. And, I mean, I want to see him with young receivers. Maybe, he was obviously good with Devontae, but I want to see how he can, mold younger receivers and see how they can play with him.
So, he does fit the timeline. He looks like he'd be a perfect fit. But, dude, does Carr make the Jets a contender? Or, does he get them to that level? Because I feel like he's not
I feel like
that caliber of a quarterback.
I feel like he does. Jets are a very good team. They had the worst quarterback in the league. If they had even an average quarterback like Derek Carr,
They make the playoffs.
they at least have a very good chance at the playoffs this past year.
I think they definitely make the playoffs with a better quarterback than Zach Wilson.
They're in a loaded division. It would be tough.
True.
So you just said Zach Wilson. That's a point I want to make. Derek Carr can come in. I'm not saying he has to teach him things. Mentor the guy. Give him that mental. Derek Carr is one of the most mentally tough players in the league. I think mentor Zach Wilson. Let him ride on the bench, and maybe we can see Zach Wilson grow into the player he was drafted to be at 2nd overall.
I completely agree with that.
I think he's a great mentor. I mean, Derek Carr's a guy, he's not the best. He's not a Rodgers. But I don't think Rodgers would mentor Zach Wilson.
No.
I think Derek Carr would. Derek Carr would do what's best for the team, and that's why. As a Jets fan, I'm rooting for Carr now. Last week I said
okay.
Rodgers. I'm all in on Carr now. I love him.
You're making me like that fit a lot more.
Circling back last time to Derek Carr and the Jets, I know they don't have to trade anything for him. You're gonna have to give up a decent chunk of money for Carr. How much better is Carr really than Mike White?
Veteran. He's a veteran. At the end of the day, he's a veteran. He's been a starting quarterback in this league for 10 years at least now. He's been in the high-pressure situations. He's been in the playoffs. I don't want to say he's a great clutch quarterback, but he's definitely better than Mike White.
If the Jets let Mike White run the offense the entire year this season, they would have made the playoffs, and he would have
I
been
totally
able to
agree with
have playoff experience too.
My only thing is Derek Carr just got paid $40 million in one day. I don't know how much he's caring about money. I don't think he's signed.
Yeah,
for
but
max.
whatever you're getting Derek Carr for is gonna be at least triple of what you're gonna be paying Mike White.
Mike White's deal's up after this year anyway, and if he did have a good season, we'd probably have to pay him more than we're going to pay Carr.
And the Jets don't. I feel like their organization doesn't. They don't trust.
They
Mike
don't.
White.
No,
They
not at
don't.
all.
They don't
Not
at
at
all.
all.
They trust Zach Wilson over
Which
Mike
is
White,
silly.
which is
They
insane.
trust Flacco over Mike White, which I think is crazy.
Flacco is fine. Flacco's fine. I
He's
like Flacco.
washed.
Flacco's good. It doesn't matter.
He's definitely washed, but
He's
I mean,
good. He was the best. I mean, I love Mike White. I think Mike White is legit.
Yeah.
It just sucks that they didn't even get a chance. I just don't get how they still stuck out with Zach Wilson over Mike White last year.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jets fan, and that pissed me off. So
Yeah. Well, I think you can imagine my emotions. And anything
Yeah.
else you guys want to say, I can get to the next point.
Next point.
All right. So next point, Lamar Jackson, another one that we've talked about in previous weeks. Situation has not gotten better. They are not any closer to a deal. Reports are coming out they're going to franchise tag him, which can put a little bit of a sour taste in Lamar's mouth. Might make him dip the next year. Obviously, if you guys don't know, franchise tag is only 1 year. So, what are your thoughts about this? I thought this was going to be something that got swept away. I thought they were going to wrap stuff up after the season, and it's kind of just went the opposite way. So, let's start with you because we started with Kyle last time.
See, I don't know about this situation. I think the Ravens, they should be trying to keep him as, for anything they could.
That's what I think, too.
I think they should do whatever they can to sign him,
Yeah, totally.
But, if things are going south, then where's he going to end up,
Who knows? And it's going to be for a lot of money wherever he goes.
Definitely.
Let's go to our resident Ravens fan. I know this has been a sore subject. I'm sorry about this, but what are your thoughts on the situation? I know you wanted to get this deal done. You thought it was going to happen.
This deal should have been done months ago. A franchise tag is, obviously team friendly, but dude, that is just, oh my God. How do you franchise tag your MVP quarterback, someone that literally hopped in a fucking team and changed the whole offense around based on him and went crazy with it.
Add to that the culture too. He added that the Ravens are a tough-nosed team, and I think he leads a lot of that.
Exactly.
OC Greg Roman did leave this offseason. Got to see how that's going to work out without him too. What are your thoughts about this?
How would you feel if the Ravens started a rebuild?
I would hate
I think that's
right
dumb.
now. Why?
I think that's dumb.
Why? You'd rather keep Lamar and pay him all this money?
Their defense is elite
And
right
their
now.
defense is elite right now, I agree. I don't ever see them, especially in the AFC right now, for however long as they have Lamar. I think that they will always be a bottom tier playoff team, make it and get eliminated either the wild card or divisional round. Why don't they just start over? Right now, they're not beating the Bengals or the Chiefs or the Bills. They're not.
They could most definitely
they're
beat
not.
the Bengals.
I thank you. I want to disagree with that. They are built for the playoffs. They're not built for the regular season. They don't put up a lot of points. They're built for those nitty-gritty games in the playoffs when it's -10 out.
Yes.
And they're running the ball down your throat and keeping it at 10
Yes,
points.
but if they are lucky, they will make it AFC Championship max.
So you're saying they won't beat the Chiefs, which I agree with.
I'm saying
but they can beat the
they are
Bengals,
not Lamar and the Ravens are not going to win a Super Bowl.
even with an elite wide receiver.
Maybe, but they
Their
don't have
defense
one.
is championship caliber, yes or no?
Yes.
Their offense obviously is not.
Their offense is not. No.
Yeah.
No, not passing game, not running game, not anything.
So new offensive coordinator coming in now. If they can add an elite wide receiver, I don't think it's out of the question. I don't think they're beating the Chiefs.
I still think with an elite wide receiver that they make AFC Championship max, and they have the ability. They have the ability right now to reconstruct that entire offense. Why not do it right now? Why would you rather have playoff hope for the next couple years than start a rebuild now, and then in 3 or 4 years actually have a championship caliber team? You'd rather hang on for a couple more years of a playoff team? They're not winning.
So
They're
you
not
don't
winning.
know if you're going to have that franchise quarterback 4 years down the line if they get rid of Lamar right now.
And I don't know
but
if
they're
that
not
team-
winning right now.
So my question is, what differentiates the Ravens from the Bills?
I kind of agree with that too. The Bills have Josh
Offense?
Allen
Yeah.
and Stephon Diggs. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
But they obviously can't beat the Chiefs or the Bengals, so
I don't even know if they
I
can
feel
beat the
like-
Jaguars.
But I see the Bills winning now. I don't see the Ravens winning right now. I could see the Bills beating the Chiefs or Bengals. I can't see in a playoff game the Ravens taking down Mahomes or Burrow. I don't see that.
okay.
But in 3 to 4 years, how do you know that defense is going to be elite? Roquan Smith's going to be old. Pat Queen's going to be old. That D-line's going to be old. No Calais Campbell in 3 or 4
I
years
don't,
for
but what
sure.
I'm saying is that they're stuck in a no man's land right now, and they're not gonna break out of it. I don't see them breaking out of it. They're stuck right here. They want to get here. They're not gonna keep in your same offense and your same like style of play and everything. Keeping it the same is not gonna get them up. I'm saying they may as well try to switch a little something up with their offense so that they can maybe get a step up, because even if they don't get that step up, they're still a fringe playoff team.
So are you saying sign Lamar, trade him? Is that what you're trying to say? Like
Yes.
something along that?
Yes.
Okay. That's tough.
Ravens aren't going to do that.
I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna do that either. I was just saying hypothetically, I think that would be a good idea.
What,
I don't think they're gonna do it. I was just saying, how would you guys feel about it? Because I was just thinking that would be a good idea.
I mean,
No, I get what you're trying to say, but at the end of the day, every time the Ravens have won the Super Bowl, it's been the same style of team every single time. Defensive-led team, offense that can do just enough. Their offense can do just enough, their defense will win them games. And I think that's how
their offense is not doing nearly enough though. To make it to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, their offense is not doing.
What about with Michael
nearly
Thomas?
enough. What would Michael Thomas do? Get hurt the second game
He's
and
an elite
rob
wide
him of
receiver.
millions of dollars?
Elite wide receiver. I think, who is their best receiver
Can you
this
bring
year?
up someone else besides Michael Thomas?
He's the only free agent I thought of. The wide receiver class isn't great this year.
I feel like this is kind of going to be like a show me year for the Ravens with the new offensive coordinator coming in, and last year possibly with Lamar. So if they can round out that offense a little bit, I guess we'll see. You know,
They're gonna be a wild card team. They're gonna make the playoffs and get knocked out in the wild card or divisional round. That's what's happening.
And
That's what's gonna keep
then
happening.
they make that decision. Do we sign Lamar? Do we get
Well,
rid
so-
of him? Do we sign him and trade him? Do we?
Yeah, but why?
start
But
rebuilding?
why?
Rebuilds
But why
is
wait a
something.
year? Why not do that now?
One
They
thing I want to
should have
say,
done it last year.
Yeah.
Lamar has ended the last 2 seasons injured. Not even in, they got to playoffs, he didn't play. So I could understand their concerns. I don't know where the Ravens go, so I don't think you're wrong in what you
that the
said.
Ravens need to move on from Lamar.
I think personally, I mean, I would hate for this to happen. I mean, Lamar Jackson obviously deserves his money, but you're gonna franchise tag him to keep the cap a little low, go out for bigger names, beef up the O-line, get a receiver, maybe get another defensive piece, and really try to push for the Super Bowl. You're calling them a fringe playoff team. If they do that, I don't think they're anywhere near fringe. I think they're obviously top dogs. Ravens' defense is superior. A healthy Lamar is almost unstoppable. J.K. Dobbins if he's healthy, Gus Edwards if he's healthy, Mark Andrews if he's healthy, and then obviously the younger receivers we got.
This is what I'm saying. This is gonna be their show me year.
Yeah, totally. I
they
mean,
gotta-
the year Lamar won MVP, they were putting up 40 points, dude. It's just been recently, no receivers, no Hollywood Brown. They kind of look like they missed him last year. All right, let's get off the Ravens. Let's go to some coaching hires. It's kind of boring, but we got to go over it. So, first one, I totally thought this was a meme. I did not realize this was a real guy. Colts hired Bob Cooter as OC. Totally thought that was a made-up name.
Yes, that's a real name.
I thought it was like Ben Dover and Dan Gleesack. I did not think that was a real name. I've seen him. He's bounced around a couple teams. I have absolutely no clue how he'll do as an OC, but taking over the Colts especially the offensive side of the ball, does not seem like an appealing job. So no wonder why they got Bob Cooter in there. Let's just run through this because I'm sure. Do you guys know anything about Bob Cooter?
All I want to say is I feel like that's the most Colts thing ever. Some guy named Bob Cooter as their offensive coordinator.
Just hired Jeff Saturday as the head coach.
It makes no sense. Colts, oh my god.
They're sticking with Saturday?
Oh, I don't
No.
know.
Oh my gosh. I was very sad.
Maybe they'll go out and sign like Vinny Testaverde or something. That seems like the style of Colts thing to do. Go get an old quarterback that's way too washed up. This is actually probably the biggest story with all the coaching hires is Eric Bieniemy getting hired as Washington OC. I just find this is such a strange move for him. You go from a team you won 2 Super Bowls on, 100% have one of the best offenses in the league every single year. You get heralded as this great offensive mind. Then you go to Washington, who doesn't necessarily have the pieces. It's a lateral move. He's not becoming a head coach. So, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this? A lot of people I've been seeing on Twitter have been saying this is him trying to prove himself that he's a good coach, and it's not the Chiefs that make him look good. And that's how he's going to propel himself into a head coaching job.
That's what it seems like. It seems like he's gonna try and show that he's got that offensive mind.
Yeah. It's not Andy
He's
Reid.
gonna try and turn a terrible offense into a great offense, you know, and we'll see what happens. So
Sam Howell,
that's
sleeper
the luck
quarterback
for him.
next year, maybe. What are your thoughts on this?
Same thing Bert said. Obviously, I think he's just trying to prove himself as an OC. Obviously, help get up to a head coach position one day. But I think this changes Washington's whole perspective on the offensive side of the football. I mean, obviously got the receivers there, running back. Obviously, Brian Robinson having a pretty stand-up year.
McLaurin, Dotson,
Gibson. I mean, you got pieces around them. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with all of them. I think obviously Bieniemy is a great offensive mind, and I think that he could change Washington. Get them a few more wins to get into the playoffs.
Yeah. So another thing about this topic is that both Eagles offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator got head coaching jobs, but Bieniemy, who has won 2 Super Bowls, has not, which is a whole nother thing.
So what I saw that people are speculating is that the Chiefs and him are kind of butting heads, and they want to kind of separate on good terms, so they're letting him go instead of kind of firing him so it looks bad when he tries to get a new job. So I'm seeing that there's speculations that him and the Chiefs were just like not getting along anymore and just wanted to cut ties without creating any of a mess. So that's why, because I saw that because people were confused. Why would he leave Kansas City, the same job, to go to a worse team, same job? You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense. So that's what I saw, and that makes sense. And that's kind of what I'm thinking that's coming from. Washington, I love that they got the pieces. Now they got the coach. Give them a damn quarterback, please.
I was just going to say, that actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, they win a Super Bowl. It makes a lot of sense to just, don't make headlines saying you're firing him.
Exactly.
Win a Super Bowl, go out on good terms, everyone's happy. So
Exactly.
I agree with that. I think he deserves a head coaching job. I mean, if Jeff Saturday does, he definitely does. So.
Do we think they were fighting, like, him and the organization about football stuff, or about contract
money?
stuff, money stuff? Exactly.
I don't know that much into the situation. For me, I feel like there's no way it can be. He's not going to succeed Andy Reid. No way, and there's no way Eric Bieniemy thinks that. They're winning, so it can't be that. I think it has to be money. Personally, that's what I think it has to be. Or he just wanted notoriety, which I feel like he got. Let's keep it going. Eagles offensive coordinator, like I just said, becomes the Cardinals head coach. A video came out of him meeting Kyler, and he just gives me straight high school science teacher vibes. Just a corny, quirky type of guy. But those type of people can be player coaches, and sometimes people will get behind that. Or Nathaniel Hackett, the Broncos coach, is kind of that same vibe. Didn't really work out with him, so it can be both sides of the bridge on that one. Yeah. Anything you want to say about this? A lot of coaches. I saw Sean Payton said he didn't want to be Arizona's coach just because of Kyler Murray. So I don't know.
Can you blame him?
Well, one thing I want to say: do you think he deserves this?
Kyler?
No. Do you think this Jonathan Gannon? Do you think he deserves this job?
Dude, Colts are screwed. It doesn't matter who their coach is.
Cardinals.
That's what I meant. They're screwed.
Yeah, no, they're screwed totally.
Just,
D-Cop wants out.
I just feel like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I agree. But a good head coach can turn everything around. So who knows?
You never know.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. All right, let's get into some more funny stuff. Kinda. DK Metcalf gets drug tested after going absolutely nuclear in the Celebrity All-Star game. Had the nastiest rejection, takes it down coast to coast, two-hand Yamama jam, and gets drug tested after. Another viral video came out of him catching a ball that was very clearly edited. Yeah, we'll put that right here of him jumping to the moon apparently. Gets drug tested, kind of funny, put it out on social media. I thought that was a cool story. Anything you want to say about that? DK Metcalf, definitely one of the ugliest players I've ever seen, though. No offense to him.
Dude, that
schnoz
schnoz is something else, especially with the stupid-ass little nose ring in it. But other than that, watching him in the All-Star game was so fun.
Yeah.
Double-double, 20 and 10 with probably 5 or 6 blocks, a couple of yams. And then he jumps 7 feet high in the air and then gets a text from the NFL committee. Hey, DK, come in for a drug test.
That video had to be fake.
It has to be fake. I think that's humanly impossible.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about DK Metcalf?
The video's fake. If it was real, all props to you. But dude, good ass editing team over there.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's get into a would you rather. I only got one lined up for today. Would you rather be Patrick Mahomes or Johnny Sins?
All right, so we talked about this already. I'm going Patrick Mahomes all day because more money, you get to play football at the highest level and just be the best. I mean, one of the most skilled ever at your position, you know. And you could, I mean, he's got a wife, but like, you could really do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you can do whatever you want if you're Patrick Mahomes. So,
yeah, I agree with that.
What is wrong with you?
No. Listen. Johnny Sins is one thing, but if you're like an average football player, I'm going Johnny Sins all day. If you're Patrick Mahomes, you could do whatever you want, whenever you want, other than football season. But then you get to win Super Bowls too, dude. I'm not stepping back on this. Yeah.
My answer is very similar to this guy's over here. The one thing I'm changing is my voice. If I'm taking Patty Mahomes, but I'm swapping my voice out with Johnny Sins. I'm not dealing with that frog voice. So.
Oh, you can't pick and choose.
Yeah, no, you can't pick and choose.
All right, well, whatever.
What do you want, Johnny?
I'll deal with the voice. All right, fine. I'll deal with the voice, and the girls come later, you know. So
Exactly.
I think you guys are tripping. It's Johnny Sins easy. You're literally the symbol of sex across the internet. Everyone knows you. You're a doctor, a firefighter, and a lawyer. I don't care. Give me Johnny Sins all day.
Alright, would I rather be Patrick Mahomes or Johnny Sins? I gotta go Johnny Sins. Best player at his position. Incredible stroking. Unlike anything we have ever seen in our lives. If you watch his highlights, unbelievable. I would love to do that. Keep my beautiful bald head. Oh my gosh.
Super versatile too.
Just the goat. Speaking of goat, you want to
Absolute
talk about goats?
I can't argue that. He
Johnny
is the
Sins or
GOAT.
Brady?
Johnny Sins or Brady? Brady.
All I'm saying, there's no way Patty Mahomes has a good stroke game with that ugly piece of crap as his wife. So, sorry about it. So yeah, I think personally this is a no-brainer. It's Johnny Sins. Last up, we got a little quiz. I'm not going to be partaking in this. Oh, come on, get out of here. Little quiz. Everyone pull up the quiz. And we're going to see who can get the most correct answers, and they will be the winner for today. It's like trivia segment. All right?
actually, can I just do it on yours?
Yeah. So I'll be narrating. I know most of these answers already. All right. Does everyone have it up?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. Question 1. Who was picked second overall after Peyton Manning in the '98 draft? Let's start off with Con.
Alright, so the answer choices are Donovan McNabb, Ryan Leaf, Orlando Pace, and Charles Woodson. I know it wasn't Ryan Leaf because he went number 1 overall to the Chargers, the biggest bust of all time.
That's who I thought it was. That's what I was trying to think of when you asked.
I want to say Donovan McNabb is just throwing me off, but the timeline matches up though, so that's tough. Alright, I'll go Charles Woodson.
All right, Boley.
Going with Charles Woodson, locking it in.
And I'm also going with Charles Woodson.
And that is a correct answer. Points all around. Points all around. All right. All right, question 2. Which team drafted John Elway in 1983 before trading him to the Broncos? This is like the first quarterback scandal, reminiscence of Eli Manning. I'm trying to think who else. That type, Phil Rivers.
I
too.
know what you mean.
Yeah.
Our options are the Bills, the Vikings, the Baltimore Colts, and the Cleveland Browns.
So let's start it off with Bert.
I have no freaking clue.
Take a shot in the dark.
So I'm probably gonna go with Minnesota. I feel like that's something they would do.
Okay.
I also have zero idea, and I'm going to take the Baltimore Colts.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm going the Vikings. They were very relevant at this time. They make great draft picks, so I'm going Vikings.
All right, and the correct answer is the Baltimore Colts, actually.
Hey.
Colts at this time were they were like the Lions of today, just dysfunctional as crap. John Elway actually got drafted by the Yankees too and went to play spring ball with them instead of signing with the
Wow.
Colts.
Wow.
2 for 2.
All right, what year did the first ever draft happen?
The first ever draft. Alright, read them to me because mine's different.
Mine's different as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Alright, should we do this one then?
No, we can skip this one.
Which one do you have, Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Oh, I skipped that. I figured you guys wouldn't know this one at all. All right, whatever. Joe Montana. What round was he picked in?
I feel like it wasn't the first because I feel like that's like obvious answer. I'll go second.
Second?
Yeah, I'll go second.
I'm going 4th.
Alright, one of us gotta be right. I'll go third. I was thinking second, but
It was third.
It was third.
All right, true or false? Jim Brown, first overall in the 57 draft.
true.
I have no idea.
It's a true or false, Joe. 50-50.
Where you going?
I'm going false.
I'll go true.
It was true. He was an absolute stud at Syracuse.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Running back going first overall.
That's
Back
great.
then, it was- that's
Back in
how-
the day,
yeah.
the running back was your quarterback, pretty much.
All right,
And he is one of the greatest running backs of all time.
he was the
Yeah.
GOAT before there was anything else. He was the GOAT of all GOATs at running back for pretty much like 50 years until Walter Payton.
Yeah,
So.
literally.
What year did the first ever NFL draft take place? 1906, 1916, 1926, or 1936?
1936.
I'm gonna go 26.
I'm going to go 26 too.
You got to think about historical context in this, and it is 36. You got to think about World War II, all that stuff. So, true or false? Big Ben was selected in the top 10 in the 2004 NFL.
False, and he was pissed about it.
Yeah, I'll go false as well.
Yeah, Conk knew that one off rip. All right, if anyone gets this wrong, you automatically lose this challenge. What round was Tom Brady selected in the 2000 draft?
7th round, 121st overall.
7th round, 121st overall.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right, it just asked what round. 7th round is correct.
I'm gonna make sure 121st overall is. Correct. $199th overall pick. In the 6th round!
Damn. Alright, we're going to skip to the last question here. I think you guys all know who Shannon Sharp is, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright, what round was Shannon Sharp selected in the 1990 NFL draft? For some context, he came out as a wide receiver, not a tight end.
Interesting.
I'm going 6th round here.
What are the choices for?
4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th?
I'll go 5th. I'll be different. Because I honestly have no clue.
Declaring as wide receiver, you got it much better. It's a much better look than a tight end. I'm going 4th.
4th? Don't look. He was selected in the 7th round.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
What a
Yeah.
steal.
Still before Brady, though. 192nd overall.
All right, that was our trivia segment, and this was the U talking about the NFL. Thank you for watching.